What's up, people? This is Jay of Highsmith Productions. Today, I am joined with somebody who I've known for a long time now, Mr. Maurice Jones. How are you doing, sir?
Good, brother. How you doing? Feeling blessed? How about you?
Likewise, man. Likewise. This has been a long time coming. It's something we've talked about for a long time now, at least over a year that we've been talking about doing some type of collaboration. So now we're finally getting to it. So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
So we've known each other for a long time, since elementary school. I don't even know if I've ever told you this story, but like I legit remember seeing your brother and sister. I was in third grade and they were in first and second. And I just remember seeing them outside the kiss and ride, and they were talking. I was just like, man, these kids are annoying, Joe. Like that was my thought back in third grade when I first met them, and like not knowing that our families would get close over the years. So it's funny to see how my thought was way back in third grade to where we are now. But
I think the first time I remember ever meeting y'all, I think they had like a little summer camp thing at Fort Hunt.
Rec pack.
He had a little rec pack thing that he did.
Yeah.
It was like my first year doing that rec pack at Fort Hunt. I think you were there with the family and we were there. I was probably like the youngest one there. And I have very small memories of that, but I just remember that thing too. I think you tried to put me in the trash can or something.
I was not a bully. Especially not elementary school.
Right.
I was too small to bully other people.
I'm sorry, I had to throw it on there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just jump right into the funny story. This man at elementary school was walking down the hallway, and I don't know, we kind of old. He's late 30s, I'm mid 30s. So back in the day when they had those really old ancient clocks that stuck out the wall, somebody thought it was a good idea to see if they can jump and see if they got the best hops in the line where everybody's rocking the single file line. Everyone goes like clap, clap. This guy jumps up, smacks the clock, and breaks it.
Look, man, that's
and
not
to this
how
day,
it
my
went.
mom don't let him live it down. So
that's
yeah,
not
we
how
that
it
close.
went. That's how it went, but that's not how it went. Back in the day, first of all, I'm mid 30s. You're not. You're early 30s.
40.
No. What happened was with that story is that my class, the grade that I was in, I think I was in 5th grade at the time. But my class, we would that was the thing, was like touch the clock, like see who could, not just touch the clock, but see who can get the highest. And on this particular day, it was me and another girl who were assigned to go to the principal's office to get something. And we both were. She jumped up and touched it, and then I did it, and it just so happened to come down that day. Now, the only messed up thing about it was she alleged that she never touched it. I'm like, come on now, like you ain't just gonna leave me hanging, Joe. But here we are years later, and yeah, people let me live that down. It's over 20 years. Let it go.
20 years later, still won't let it go. See, that's people don't give grace anymore, man. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can see it happening now.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for a long time, man. What was it? We grew up in Alexandria, Virginia, area called the Highway. What was it like for you growing up?
Man, it was not like how it was today. Like I know hearing stories from our parents, like their parents would just let them out, and they won't even know what their kids are. I think our generation was the last generation to really do that, where I would just hit the streets, with my brother and sis, tag along to them to community center or somebody's house, and just be hanging out, and just as long as we back before it's dark, we're good. So that's what it was like growing up on the highway, from from Woodbridge, that exit all the way up to the Huntington Station is everyone knew everybody in that area, and it was there was rivalries and stuff like that, but for the most part, everybody knew everybody, and it was a thing. And that's basically what it was like growing up there. So that's definitely, I think, changed with the times now, though.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's crazy because when we were kids, like my dad will always, tell me like, well, it's not like how it was when I was growing up. And looking back at it now, I was like, well, it's not like how it was when we were growing up either.
Right.
It's changed so much in that area for better and for worse.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for example, like maybe it's just me. I don't know. You have a little one yourself too, but like when we was like little, playing in the apartments where we grew up, like we would just go outside and play. And I guess because we were siblings too, we had numbers. Like I think it was like 4 y'all. It was like 3 of us.
Yeah.
And so I guess because we had the numbers, it wasn't that bad. But like even like my kids, they go out, I'm like out the window, like, not really like okay, y'all can play, but I'm gonna watch y'all while y'all play and everywhere y'all go. I don't know, but I know it's just not just me, because a lot of parents like that. They're like that the same way. Like they don't just let their kids go off and do stuff a lot. I think because of the way the world is now, a lot more parents are like close knit to their kids, like, which is kind of good, because you see a lot of stronger families now where kids are close to their parents now versus. I feel like I'm closer to my parents now than I was then, but I was always close. I would say I was always close to my parents, but I feel like I'm closer now than I was then, where I'm like more closer to my kids now. If you can relate to that, probably.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, just because like you also have to think like the world is crazier now, but we also didn't have cell phones back then. So like you could be like 3, 4, 5 neighborhoods down the road, and your parents would have no idea where you were.
Exactly.
Because we didn't have cell phones. I remember like 8th grade, being like whole blocks down the road, and like my mom don't like, she knows the general area of where I am, but like she don't know like where I am for real, and I can say, oh, I'm over here, but like she don't really have no way of checking unless you drive over there, so it's crazy how times have changed. Everybody has a cell phone, but it's also like I don't want my kids playing outside without me being there, because you never know how people are.
You made a good point there, because I think flipping it now, I think our parents, I guess I'll say, gave us more freedom or trusted us more than we are able to trust our kids nowadays. It's not like we don't trust our kids, but we know what was out there in the world. Like I think when we moved to our house, the closest rec center where we used to play ball at, the teen center, that was like over a mile walk. And we would just walk there. I mean, it didn't feel like a mile, but it was a hike to get there. And then we just had a couple friends that lived near there, so we maybe hang at somebody's house every once in a while, but for the most part be there, tell them where we're at though. But like now, it's like you got trackers in the phones. You if they're somewhere they're not supposed to be, you're like parents now, they be like, you ain't pick up, you ain't going out again. Our parents would be like, okay, you made it home on time, so you good, right? So it's like that's where the paradigms change.
Dog, that was not the case for me. My dad would say, be home by this time. I'd be home by that time. And he says, you weren't home by the time the lights came on, like the street lights. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you changing the rules in the middle of the rules, so I was always getting in trouble for something.
So it was like this funny story, because like we mostly went to like those, like I said, those like rec centers and people's houses that like our parents knew of. But we really didn't go. My brother will tell you the same thing. We really didn't go hang out a lot of different places because we felt like we couldn't. Like, and then my parents were like, "Why didn't y'all?" And we kind of were like, "Well, y'all made us feel like we couldn't." But then they were just like, they just kind of thought we didn't want to, go to these parties or hang out or go hang with these people or that people. But then at the same time, we kind of felt like, I didn't know we had that option. Like, I didn't know we were allowed to have friends. But
yeah, see, for me, my parents were like on two opposite ends. My dad was super, super strict. And my mom just was like, just whatever. Like, not that she didn't care, but she just like, you guys are kids, have fun. Like, she just, but my dad, So my dad grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, and I don't know if you know about Jacksonville, but Jacksonville was the hood when he grew up. Jacksonville is like Chicago light.
We never stop. We just drive past through Jacksonville when we come down.
Exactly. So that's where he grew up. So for him, he's like, well, I know how it was when I was growing up. I don't want y'all to go through what I went through. But for his way of, I guess, us not going through what he went through was by just being super strict. So it's like we would be caught in between like that super strict and that not super strict. So like if it was like a day where he had to work late or he was like gone fishing or something like that, man, he was out.
See, like me, I would say my dad, I wouldn't say he was super strict. I would say he was super direct. And so he can be like intimidating. Like he had no problem like saying no with no explanation. Like he was like that. Which hindsight, that's like good. But like we knew, I'll put it like this, we knew like if we wanted extra dessert or something, we just assumed he would say no. He might have said yes, but we didn't want to take that chance.
Gotcha.
So we just asked mom because we knew she would say yes. So, but but as I grew older, I knew my father was more like that. He was, come talk to me. I'm gonna, let you know. I'm probably not gonna say no. I've noticed that like later on. Or he'll say like, or if you like have a question about something, he'll be like direct, give you some info, but then like let you know like say, okay, I bought $5. He's like, okay, but this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
You start doing these things, then you can earn it. Or you start learning how to save. And he would drop some wisdom. And we probably didn't appreciate it so much back then, but he would drop like some nuggets of wisdom while he's teaching us. Where my mom would just be like, let's just do it, I mean, my mom, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your mom is funny. She funny, but she funny. I say
that in love, Mom. I say that in love.
She is funny.